Well. I guess the Knicks gave Halliburton something to choke on. Tyrese Halliburton in Game 5. 8 points, 2 rebounds, 6 assists. A classic Halliburton performance, proving that Game 4 was simply a fluke. The Knicks did everything they needed to do to win Game 5. They slowed down the Pacers and transition, kept up with those players, didn't let Halliburton be the quarterback he can be. And without his passing options, he clearly was not able to get into a rhythm and therefore not getting into a scoring rhythm either, being held at 2 of 7. Wow. And then on the offensive side for the Knicks, Jalen Brunson, my man, a 30-piece on hyper efficiency, 6 assists, kept the turnovers down, kept the fouling down on the defensive end. He could stay on the floor doing what needed to be done. And Big Bodega, of course, once again showing out for the team. And then, quick shout out to Tom Thibodeau. Everyone was showing him a lot of hate, saying he's being outcoached by Rick Carlisle, which I honestly think is slander, okay? Get off Carlisle's nuts. Thibodeau played Landry Shamet. Shout out Shamet. Just getting some more minutes for those guys. I know he's tight with the rotation, but he brought them success over the regular season, and I'm glad to see he's sticking to his guns.
Honestly, the main takeaway is that this is exactly why Halliburton is not a top 10 player. And I said that even as a Pacers fan. He's a good player. He's top 20, top 25, but he was not able to get going. But I don't think that's going to happen again. Game 6, I have the Pacers winning. I give the Knicks credit. They finally got a legitimate win, because their Game 3 win where they come back from a 20-point deficit, it was sort of just a cat takeover. Didn't really feel replicable. But last game, they did exactly what you said. Shut Hallie down, shut the transition offense down, get Brunson going, getting a hyper-efficient 30-6 game from him. But I still don't feel that they can do that again, this time with the game being played at Indiana. I think the role players for Indiana are going to play a lot better. I think Halliburton is going to be able to find more assists, find more opportunities in that transition offense. He's only been held to single-digit points 13 times this season. And after those games, he's averaged 21-9. So he's a guy who really doesn't like when he struggles in the game before, and he finds a way to come back, whether that's by shooting more threes especially, or just really looking for those offensive opportunities because he knows he's the engine for this offense. So for me, not only is Indiana going to win, but I think Tyrese Halliburton's going to have a good game. I think something along the lines of 20-10 is very reasonable, and he's been getting a good amount of rebounds this series. I think he can get something going there. Miles Turner, still the biggest liability for me. Like, I talked about how Cat was really important. He was good in Game 5. Miles Turner's still looking invisible. I don't think he's going to show up because this matchup is just really bad for him. But guys like Naismith, Nembhard, Mathurin, I'm looking for any one of them to step up at a home game and put this series away because I do not think Brunson's going to drop another 30 on hyper-efficient shooting.
Well, I'm going to have to disagree with you on multiple fronts. First of all, Tyrese Halliburton, okay, the stats or whatever. When I look at him, when I see the way he plays, he's very much someone, if his team's not in rhythm, he's not in rhythm himself. So you look at someone like Jalen Brunson, he has his go-to moves. He has exaggerating contact,
yeah, that's the go-to move.
But then his post, you cannot underestimate his post back or his outside shooting. Tyrese Halliburton, he's got a solid 3, solid drive game, a little bit of a floater, but nothing that's really killer, nothing that he can go to when he's struggling, as we saw in Game 5. So once again, I think if the Knicks can slow down the Pacers, which they've already shown they can, Halliburton just won't get into a rhythm, and he won't be able to lead his team because what he does, he's augmenting these players. Pascal Siakam, Miles Turner, Nembhard, Mathurin. Okay? But if you can slow one of them down, you slow all of them down. And so I have full faith in Jalen Brunson because he's clutch performer of the year. Just because in Indianapolis doesn't mean he's not going to do what he does best. And then I feel you're not giving enough attention to Miles Turner and Big Bodega, that matchup, because Cat is eating him alive. And what I said back in the regular season, why Cat is so good, is he's a mismatch nightmare. And we saw that in Game 5. The Pacers didn't know what to do with him. Miles Turner wasn't stopping nothing. So what do they go to? Pascal Siakam. Big Bodega, he got like 20 pounds and 3 inches on him, okay? He backed him down, and he was dominating in the paint. So the Pacers have no answer for Cat. So I'm almost guaranteed that he's going to have a good game. I need Jalen Brunson to show up like he's been showing up. And then on the offensive side, the Knicks are taken care of. So on that defensive side, and they haven't really shown anything. You haven't said anything to prove whether the Pacers will be good again. Oh, they're at home. Hopefully the role players show up. Well, they've been showing up this whole playoff run. Even the fact that they're even in the Eastern Conference Finals is because these role players have been playing way better than what their averages and what their skills and abilities suggest. So I think they have a little trip coming down to earth, okay, expected, and they're just not going to be playing as well as they've been. So I'll just take the better team, the New York Knicks.
Yeah, I'm not with that. I think Cat is not having the great series that you want him to because he's not getting the foul calls. And with his knee being affected, he's really struggling to get that mid-range off, struggling to get to the rim. All he's really doing well is the three ball. And when it comes to the Indiana role players, yeah, I do expect them to do well because they've shown me they're clutch. They've shown me they're trying their hardest to win. And last game, game 5, Brunson didn't have a lot of turnovers. That was a big thing. The defensive pressure on him was low. Here at Indiana, I expect a couple more steals to come through. He's going to feel attacked when he's bringing that ball up. And you were talking about the Indiana offense slows down if one man slows down. If Brunson is slowed down, the New York Knicks offense completely shuts down. You got Mikal Bridges clanking his threes. You got OG maybe hitting 1 or 2 layups. Josh Hart, okay, enough said. Then you really just are left with Big Bodega and Cat, and that's why he's putting up so many shots, but he's not having the efficiency that you need a one-man offense to be able to pull off. So for me, it's Indiana. I understand what you're saying, but it's ending in 6, and OKC's winning the chip. That's really all there is to it.
This is what I'll say about the Pacers before we close. The come up is real, and so is the come down.
You thought that was tough, huh?